Hoo! Hee hee! Tee hee! I have no idea why I started off giggling. Hello. Now, this stream. Welcome to the Scuffed Zone, where this is me trying to remember how to stream. How do I exist? Because I will say, it's been a while since I've done any kind of content. That's only partially true. I did a short, last week. But this is the first real bit we're doing since crawling out of the dread hole that is finals. So, forgive me for any interruptions in the experience or bumpy roads. I'm trying to figure out how all of this works myself. Speaking of, I'm gonna do a mic check to see how I sound. Okay, it sounds alright, I think. I think it's doing pretty alright. I'm using a third device to check in. So, let's actually get it all started, shall we? Let's see if I can click on the right NDI slot. Oh, look at that! We clicked on the right OBS scene. Yay! So, mild precursor before starting is we're going to be working on one of my projects I've tinkered with, I think entirely off stream. That wasn't intended. My apologies. It was this was supposed to be a normal on stream project that just kept getting pushed and now we have it almost entirely completed away from the public eye. Not what I want, but still a valid way of doing things. Other side disclaimer before starting is my OBS is a mess. A lot of stuff had to update, so I'm sifting through what has and hasn't. There's some interesting ideas I started to write down in terms of scene transitions and ways to present, but little me in corner is just gonna have to do for now, because anything else is too complicated for my very smooth brain. But just as a sneak peek, I think it was, nope, this one, that was like an interesting experiment. I don't have a background laid out for it, but it's kind of a cool frame. I was able to make from Unity. So making my own custom frame 3D graphics, that's neat. Unfortunately, I'm not even visible in the scene, so you know, there's its downside. Oh, there's yet I am. There we go. We're back. We're back at sanity. That's just a small taste of the craziness that is the work in progress section of my OBS scenes. Speaking of scenes, Unity. This game. What is it? What have I been doing? Well, I've been working on a little game related to what I have called my CNC machine. I actually have no idea if I've at all done any posts about what this machine is supposed to be, but all in all, it's meant to be a little manufacturing machine. You put stuff in, you send it along its way. It's a neat way for me to fabricate my digital goods. We're going to be pulling some polish on this device. So, as you can hear, we have our cute little element. If I mute the music as well, we have a small ambient droning happening for the whirring of machinery as we are presented with a loaf of bread, because I got hungry while developing this and started putting food in. It's totally FDA safe, okay? Trust me. Well, it's safe enough for my administration, but we can put stuff in. We have a green button, It clicks, and it makes it bigger. It does good things, because green is the universal color of good. You can never have too much good. So I'm just going to keep clicking the good button. I wish I could click this fast. I'm using it, but more good. You can also do the red button, which is bad, because red is the color of evil. So I set it on fire. I set it on fire a lot. And then the blue button, when you're finally done with whatever weird machine or machination you have, set it on its way. And then we have a new item. It did a backflip. Neat. And then send it on its way. I don't want another loaf of bread. I don't want you either. There's more items in this. There we go. Now we have a cube. You turn it on its side. And you know what? Go away, Mr. Cube. Why does it love giving me loaves of bread? There we go. We have a donut. We can make donuts big. Or set them on fire. Perfect. And then set it on its way. You kind of get the gist of it. It's a nice little machine I built. It's just an easy way for me to fabricate my digital goods. It's got its little portal that's able to spit items out of. Ooh, and let's move the gameplay view down here. Moves along, spits a new thing out, and then lets me continue to do my operations. You never know when you might need donuts on fire, okay? It's a very critical operation to do on donuts. Away with you. Oh, hey, there's the last machine. It's a little engine. But today's stream is going to be about packaging and polishing this wonderful little game up for WebGL, because I just want to put this on my itch page, have it as a nice, neat, playable little thing that, you know, you can just go buy on a website and play with. At the moment, I actually already have a WebGL build functioning in a way. And let me turn the music back on, because the sound effects aren't the terribly important part. But what I know so far for WebGL builds is they take so long. Jeez, if anyone has a way, and I've looked through forums, I've looked through documentation, I'm trying to keep these build times short, but the shortest build time I've come across consistently is like 10 minutes. So it's a pretty big pain in my keister to keep having to iterate over what I'm doing. But I think it's, yeah, this release build. So the easiest way for me to test what's happening is by opening up the good old command prompt and then running a python-m http server. Then it runs my little WebGL build on localhost 8080. Which browser do I want to use for this? I should not just be opening up browsers randomly. We'll use Vivaldi. Yeah, there's something weird about Vivaldi. It's my stream browser, so if I go to localhost 8080, or 8000 really, because 8080 is for generic HTTP, we've got our little game up here already built for WebGL. We actually have a main menu. That's part of what we're going to be doing today for polish, is making this not terrible. We're using feel, because feel is how we're getting a lot of that nice little reactivity on our machine, so we're also using it for loading scenes. And you can kind of immediately see the issue. Compared to play mode, or when I load something in, click it, you hear the way the audio plays. It's kind of like a bow, wow, wow, a continuous throughput. But when built, it plays way more choppily, like kind of bow, bow, bow. So we need to fix that. And we also need to fix the lighting, because see how it's flickering kind of aggressively? Like, it fades out nicely here, but it can't handle both sources of light. It doesn't really seem to know how to choose between the two. Versus, so let me move that off the logo. Versus in this example, it's able to mix the two quite nicely in like this smooth fade. And that's probably due to something related to like the graphics libraries for desktops like Windows versus a browser. But these are things I'd like to change and to clean up. So the lighting and the audio are the two big ones, with nice to have, of course, being a main menu that doesn't terribly suck and isn't the most placeholder thing in the world. The goal with this project was really to not have something super unpolished. It was to make something simple and polished. And if this factory is going to be the basis of my total not, I was going to use the word insurrection, but that doesn't really apply here. For my world domination, galactic domination, that's the word I want to use. This factory is supposed to be the bedrock of my galactic domination and my production line for it. So we need this to do a bit better. And we need this to be accessible for all the wonderful crusaders out there from any browser or internet accessible device to begin to make widgets and wadgets for me. That's productivity. So I decided to stream the polish process for this neat little thing. And by the end of it, if we're lucky, we'll hopefully have a nice game to put on itch.io. It's just the builds are going to take so long, they will actually kill me. So, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Yeah, let's get started. So, number one issue, or I guess it'd be smart to write this stuff down so I can remember. Oh, hey, look, this is the CNC machine project. Oh, okay, my own actions are coming back to me. I have shown this project, but I've shown this project when it was more of a test of me developing a WebSocket connection from Unity to Touch Portal to my personal device. We actually have all this done, but this is how the CNC machine was initially designed when inside of my virtual production program. But I found the CNC machine was so neat, it was so cute, why not just make it its own game? It's kind of got everything it needs. So I just polished it up and extracted the core machine behavior from this. Is the machine even here? Yeah, so really it's all, everything we're making into a game is just this little node with the happy face and frowny face. But instead of taking in TCP WebSocket server information for how to do it, we just have these little green and red buttons. Happy face, frowny face, and load new machine face. I guess that'd be like a little O face, like as an equivalent. But we need a new note because we have the workflow, we have the overall project. We kind of achieved the aesthetics. We have that. This is if I wanted to be able to like walk up to it. So this functionality is not really valid anymore. What we do want is what I mentioned before. So fix lighting in WebGL build. We want to fix sound effects in WebGL build. And out of curiosity, let me fire up the WebGL build again. I actually need to fire it up. Once you run an HTTP server from the WebGL build's like local folder location, you can just pull it up again whenever you want. So I'm gonna go back to localhost 8000 and bam, still there. Oh yeah, the main menu. Immediately I'm faced with things I want to fix again. So create real main menu, create real loading screen from main menu. Let's see. You hit that, it loads. That's good. Yeah, so what you just saw was the unsmooth lighting issues and the kind of bah, bah, bah. We wanted to be a smoother, more continuous audio. Is it? Do I need to fix the audio and lighting? Yes, I need to fix the lighting. That's annoying to look at. The audio could be. The audio would be acceptable if it didn't sound more kind of cut out. Like the noise is clipping every time it comes in and out of playing the loop. Yeah. Yep, fixing those things. And of course having a slightly prettier backing. If I full screen this, it's actually not bad to look at. It's just again the lighting's So harsh. It almost kind of understands what it's doing for the smaller lighting, but yeah, it freaks out way too much. I'm done looking at this. Okay, we have our tasks. Now, how do we actually go about doing these tasks? Go away, you. We'll keep that browser ready just in case I want to do an additional run, but no more server. So, task. Let's start with the lighting. No, the sound effects would be easier to handle. So right now, the way I handle sound effects is just from one audio source looping, and it plays my little sci-fi beam noise, this band noise. Interesting. Hang on. Okay, I think I figured out part of the issue. So when I have this playing, you hear how it just doesn't play the opening part of the sound effect? Compared to when I have it looped, it is playing the opening part. But I think the WebGL browser is just like smashing this play button. Yeah, this sounds exactly like what's happening. There's a little bit of like dead air between it. So I should be able to use either Feel should have a built-in solution for this because it has its own solutions for playing audio, or I could just layer two versions of this audio clip so that way there's always one playing so we don't have that downtime. What's ambisonic? What is ambisonic? Huh. There could be things like load in background and other options. That might work. Decompress on low, compressed into memory streaming. I don't think it's one of these fundamental settings. It could be. Will I change the compression format? Nope, there's still like that little bit of downtime. Also, I'm not hitting apply. So it didn't matter either way. Okay, let's try PMC just to change things up a little bit, see what happens. Nope. AD, whatever that is, ADPCN. Nope. Alright, we'll stick with Vorbis, and how do I want to do this? So right now, I just have this audio source, it just fires, we're just turning it on and off when we do and don't need it, which is handled all the way up here on the machine's code from these events. So on effect start, we play this audio source. On effect stop, we stop the audio source. So really, we are just using the native audio source's loop mechanic, and that is not producing a good continuous flow of sound the way we want. So, Field, you happen to have a solution. Like, we're gonna hijack this audio source, instead add an MMF player. Why only a debug one? Where's the normal MMF player? Oh, there's no underscore, that would be why. Okay, so let's go for sound or audio. Audio source, playlist, sound control, fade, track. Let's just go with a generic audio source for now, and let's expand it to the MMF sound control if needed. So if we just start playing the audio source, the sci-fi effect beam. Oh no, I have to give it an audio source. So if I give it this source, we don't need it to be randomized, but I do need it to loop. I feel like that's not going to improve just because we're triggering the same underlying audio source, but it's not changing anything about the nature of how that audio source loops. It's the nature of it looping. And again, the downside is it's going to take a really long time to even test one of these options. Because of how long WebGL builds take. Audio source. So it looks like we'll need to engage with the sound manager. Control mode, play. Okay, so this itself is the sound manager. A feedback used to control all sounds playing on the MMF sound manager at once. It'll let you play, pause, stop, and free. It stops and returns the audio source to the pool sounds. You'll need an Sound Manager in your scene for this to work. So I could like do commands to the Sound Manager from here. What else we got? Sound Manager control, sound control. Let's just do sound. So I need my sci-fi beam, yes. We have pitch, all these other things, please loop. Recycle audio source, please make it this source. Where is it looking? There it was. And yes, I'd like you to loop. What's persistent mean? Whether or not the sound should continue playing when transitioning to another scene. We're never transitioning out of this, so it doesn't matter. Do not play if clip is already played. You can overlap, that's fine. Stop sound on feedback, stop. You can keep going. Because it really should be a command to the feedback to stop. Can I have that as a callback? No, we're not going to worry about extensive logic of the feedback yet. We just want to try to see, will it successfully create that constant play that I want. You know, it might have been priority. That might have been why this sounds like the sound's cutting out, because other sounds might be taking priority. We'll just increase that a little bit. Do we want any reverb zone mix? Nah, we don't need that for right now. Do you want it to fade? When it's playing in. Stop sound on feedback stuff. Do not play. Okay, this should be fine, but I do need an actual MMF feedback sound player. Does More Mountains have a spawn element I can use? No. Okay, well, add it as a component then. It's a sound manager. Oh. Where would I put it? I should put it on the button manager for now. Even though it should really go on scene objects. Yeah, we'll put it on scene objects. So where's my sound manager? There we go. There's a control pool of 10. The pools can expand. It should probably never need to, though. Automatically unparent itself on awake. Why would it want to do that? The singleton will auto-detach if it finds itself parented on awake. Okay. I guess I could... That makes me sound like... That makes it sound like it should be on its own entity. I'm going to make it its own entity. Bam. And paste a new one. Which means laser audio. I'd like to connect you to your hot local MMF sound managers near you. Nope. Not what I was looking for. This is what I'm looking for. I think this is where it connects. Nope. A Mac Shaker setup. Probably shouldn't have clicked that on impulse, but I did. Where is the... I thought there was a red bit. Shouldn't this be looping if I have it on debug? Let's see if it works then, I guess. I'll even turn you off. See if that causes any issues. None that I can see. None of the tabs I can see. Alright, let's try playing it, see what happens. Oh, it's a scriptable object. I guess they had like any real preferences on how sound is played, which I don't. Let's see if it just works normally. So, machine instead of audio source play, given to the MMF player and allow that to play. Let's see what happens. No audio played. Interesting. So this is running, but it's not playing. I gave it an audio source. I gave it a clip too, right? Yep. Oh, is it because this game object with the sound manager was off? Let's try it with it on. Fascinating. Does it actually play exactly how I need it to? Why is it perfect? Why does it play exactly as I need? How does it know when to stop playing? Is it... That's weird. Oh, is it because I activate the audio source? The audio source is from then on looping. And then on end, I'm just turning off the audio source, which would naturally make the feedback stop as well. That's a very funny incident. Oh, ooh, oh, okay. I see, I made a little mistake. So, the sound's good. That's fine for the most part. So fine, in fact, I want to just leave it and try to test it in a build. What I do want to fix though are these. These debug statements are not good because of my build profile. I believe I turned off stack traces where I should not have turned them off. Yeah. Now if I turn this on, there we go. Yeah, I like those meaty stack traces. I need them for logging statements. Even though I should probably disable a lot of those logging statements. Just gonna clutter the console. How would I go about the lights? So what's happening with these lights? Well, what's happening is under this FX, well, I need the lasers FX. When this beam turns on, it turns on this glow. Well, now what is this glow? It's a particle. A particle with a light attached. Actually, this light does not turn on. So this light is a form of particle that has an emission. No. How is this particle emitting light? I don't think I've actually ever looked into how particles emit light, but it would explain why it's freaking out. This looks funky. It is kind of funky, okay? It's my little factory, little space factory, and it's both neat funky and the unneat kind of funky, because it loves fighting me at every turn. Right now we're trying to get it cleaned up for a WebGL build to assess 2 minor bugs we're having with it. One of them is related to the lighting, because WebGL apparently does not like the particle-based lighting coming off of these guns. And another was related to sound. There was a weird clipping in and out when the little sound when running would be active. So I need to try to clean those up before I post it. Will just be WebGL, will be a desktop build too. I'd like to eventually expand it to be a desktop build, but I'd want to really flesh it out more. So for this like little demo spot, I'm just gonna throw it up on my little itch.io for a WebGL build. And when I come back to it to really flesh it out, I'll probably add a desktop build proper to it as well. Because it's partially inspired. What I found kind of vibing with it is I'd want to go for something kind of like Little Inferno, if you ever played or seen that game. So you can buy items, you can throw them in your little machine and find unique combinations of things you can mess with. Uh-oh, I actually left that laser on. It'll turn itself off. So let's just run it. You can do bad things to it, like set bread on fire. Good things like make it bigger, infinitely. And then move it on its way. Right now we just have this basic little interface for clicking on the 3D objects, doing what you want with them. It's only giving me bread. There's more than bread, I swear. I swear this isn't just a bakery. Come on, give me a non-bread. There we go. We can set other objects on fire, move them on the little conveyor belt. But yeah, I definitely do want to actually make a proper desktop build of this once we have proper UI and I want to flesh down to a game, but right now I like vibing with just making a little proof of concept demo, throwing that up as a WebGL build and leaving it. Or I might continue doing that. WebGL builds take forever, as I have unfortunately learned. Seemed like the sort of game I'll mod in my spare time. Hey, thank you. And that's kind of the goal. You could just throw more stuff in, add new interactions between the things you throw in. Right now it's only one object at a time, but I wanted it where, depending on the laser combination and the things you would hit, you'd want additional items, buying more items on a little like side catalog, but it'd definitely be fun. And I aim for it to be simple enough to mod too, because I like it as a platform. It's inspired me to make more like it, but I want to wrap up this kind of infant version as it is, deliver it to the metaphorical digital fire station that is itch.io so I can remove it from my responsibility and give it to the world, make it the state's problem. That analogy went so bad so quickly. But light, particle light, was what I was struggling with. So what portion of this particle emitter is actually generating my lights? Probably this one, if I had to guess. Because if I turn it off, the left laser should have no light. Yep, no light for the left laser. Matter of fact, what does it look like if there's no lights, period? Right laser, get over here. Show me your stuff. Glow, let's turn off lights. This text is so tiny. There we go. What is it like with no lighting? It's so much more boring without lighting. So we need some form of lighting. We just need it to not be buggy in WebGL. Because of course, normal in desktop build, normal everywhere else, but WebGL is my ball and chain around my neck. I'm committed to it, but I regret my choice of commitment. So does it just attach to the light beneath? It does. Ratio, random distribution, use particle color, size effects range, alpha effects intensity. If I turn off alpha effects intensity, it just makes it bigger, really. Particle color? Okay, so it makes it generic. Random distribution. If it's not random, it seems to be more unstable. Okay, so ratio is just intensity. I like it at 1. Maximum lights? Oh. I can entirely turn it off somehow. Is there something playing? Oh, no. I thought I heard something in the background, but that is on the stream computer, which should not be interfering with any form of audio. Yep, it's fine. Good. I have awoken from my stream computer focus. Right now I'm writing a mod for a Unity game called Zombie Blocks 2. Includes like a library for developers use for mods. You can focus on making server-side hosting API stuff too. I can do super cool stuff on the server-side plugins like Minecraft. That's awesome, dude. Plus, the unsung heroes, okay, of making tooling for other modders to use. It's the invisible stuff that allows the entire community to build. So I hope you do help out the Zombie Blocks 2 community. Never heard of Zombie Blocks? I'll give it a little peek in my spare monitor. Oh, that's cute. I see why it's called Zombie Blocks. It's like zombies, but cute. Zombie Blocks. Oh, and it has a little open alpha out now. And it's free? Even more adorable. Oh, looks like it might have fully released. Hey, it's still getting updates to this day, which is something you'd like to see for a game that's still modified and evolving. But I love the low poly style. That's why I love working with games and that vibe and energy. Okay. What is... If I just made this a normal point light, would it cause the same issues? That's what I have to think of. Or, let me use my galaxy brain here, just for a moment, and actually Google. what I have, which is particle lights not working, WebGL. WebGL export messes up lighting. Okay, this is promising. Promising Reddit thread. Might you send into Reddit? No? Okay, good. We've been stuck with this lighting issue for our game multiple days now, and we could really use it. In the WebGL, the game looks like the lighting, like reflections aren't being handled. But in game, it should be fine. Quality and scene lighting settings. These are things I should probably look into. So for scene lighting, I don't know if I have anything that would be bad. Also, an unofficial developer for Starftat on Steam. A pro repository for it, and when eventually gets around to making an anti-cheat. Good luck making an anti-cheat, man. Too many projects, too little time, ADHD. True, very true. That's why I just want to kind of focus in on doing one little project at a time, making that nice progress, and getting it done, and then moving on, because otherwise they haunt me forever. Oh, the stat raft. So this is, I'll show it on stream too. This is a nice little run and gun shooter. I want to say it gives me quick vibes for the energy and high FOV, but you've got little mixtures of melee weapons. This is cute. It's fun. Also for good old zombie blocks, if anyone wants to check them out. You're doing a lot, dude, and I respect it, okay? You get better by doing, and the more you do, the merrier. Right now, though, I'm just focusing on my little creations, my babies. We gotta get them out. Sorry, I may have tried to up a storm here. I'll get back to coding while watching. Hey, no problem. Pleasure to have the company. Part of the reason why I'm streaming this whole process is just to yap a bit while getting coding progress done. Or not even coding, this is editor faffing. Just little bits and pieces of cleanup for things that have been a pain in my keister. The unsung work, you know. But speaking of unsung work, quality issues. So, oh, okay. This Reddit thread about lighting, they mentioned it's been somewhat fixed. They went from this to this, which of course is better. I didn't think about looking at quality settings. Only directional light maps are supported. Non-directional light maps are supported by WebGL. Okay, I don't have baked lighting, so it's kind of good I didn't, I guess, try baked lighting for directional light maps. You had to change them to non-directional, and then to change to directional lights. Wait, okay, no, that's directional light maps. I was thinking for a second directional lights, which would really screw me, but also wouldn't make sense, because my lights work, even though they're directional lights. Where are they? They're beyond me. There we go. Yeah, these directional lights are fine, even though I have them set to baked, which could potentially be causing the issue. If it's attempting to bake it, wasn't succeeding at baking it, and then, you know, it's faffing with it. I was trying to bake lighting earlier, and I really should, but considering how finicky WebGL is, I don't really want to risk confounding it. We're just going to set these back to real time. Real time indirect bounce shining is only for directional lights. Okay, that's fine. I'll leave those values. How many of these are still baked? Real time. Wait, these are grayed out. They don't matter. Back to baking with you. Oh, I've been going for 40 minutes already? How harrowing. Even though all of that's been productive, but it's a reminder for me to drink water. So I'm gonna grab a sippy break for everyone while I hide away. So if you're working, be sure to hydrate. Or else. Gasp! I have hydrated. I have gained water. The most important element of life. Liberty and living. Whoa, hello. So with my hydrophilic reacquisition, lighting. Is there anything else major I can even change to the lighting as is at the moment? Let me grab the laser particles again. So I think the real issue is just maybe the frequency by which it keeps pulsating and changing. I love the pulsation. Let's say we just turn it off. Range multiplier, intensity multiplier. So if I just gave it 0. Let's say we just decreased it by like half. Would it still be buggy? So we're just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it until we can get it to be generally buggy. So I don't like how low that intensity is, but there we go. So now it's not as significant, but it is still pretty significant. I don't think it's really like a relevant distinction unless it was like really low like this. Yeah, maybe 3. Like 3 would be the absolute lowest I'd be okay with in terms of sheer energy output. We have their range, their color, their point, their rendering as well. Alright, let's give this a whirl. Let's see if this can stand on its own. So, time to attempt to build. Now here's the real test of my show as a content creator, which is the sheer agonizing time to do this build process. And how much vibes I can fill that time with. So release build, go away. We no longer need you. We're making a new release build. Release build, there we go. Okay, and now the process begins. You know, to be honest, this would be a good time to have like a hybrid game development stream. Let me rephrase that. This would be a good time to have a hybrid gameplay and dev stream, because for 10 minutes, what am I doing for 10 minutes? What I'm doing is being exceedingly tempted to open up Inky Illuminati, which was like a really cute game, and just like doing that for a bit, because there's nothing to substitute the sheer amount of time for this build. And at 600 seconds last time, so I was hoping it's about that. I guess at best I could do additional research while I wait. But, come on, organize yourself. Oh, that's right, open up the other window. Crushed. Okay, WebGL lighting. There's something else we can fix here. I didn't even check the quality settings. Oh well. Once you start, can't go back. WebGL lighting weird Unity. We have spotlights in WebGL. Anyone experience visual glitches using 2D lighting? Common WebGL issues and how to fix them. WebGL lighting and shadow. Let's try a WebGL weird WebGL quality. Very strange. Let's try WebGL overlapping lighting bug. Problem with lighting and application of WebGL. Let's read this post. Hi all, I built my project to Unity WebGL, and I see on web platform lighting is good, but WebGL, it is bad. Is there, and some shader is wrong, see window, door. How can I fix? Directional light intensity on WebGL, directional light intensity on web. I set the intensity to both versions equal, lighting on WebGL version is very shiny. Same problem here. Baked light mats weren't being applied and shadows are sketchy. Dynamic lights are okay. We solved it. This many years ago, a version of Unity. Check your quality settings. Thank you for the productive scroll. 2 minutes, we're almost there. we're not even halfway there. I'm seeing some very strange differences related to whiting, wascally wabbits, related to lighting for WebGL. Alright, the quality settings on WebGL, the same as Android. They're identical, but as soon as let me show you this poster. Narrating. Hello? Hello? Nothing's reacting to my clicks anymore. That's terrifying. Yeah, I can't move my browser. Chrome? Yeah, Chrome can. Oh, let me not just open up my fucking sub box. WebGL? Okay, Chrome is still fine. Vivaldi has just locked itself down for some reason. It's just become completely non-responsive. Okay, let's close it. I heard a boing, like it's a Windows issue. Vivaldi, what's wrong? What happened, buddy? Are you okay? We're just gonna hard end task. No more music for a bit, and then it reopens all the music. And now it's interactable again. Hooray. Okay, that was weird, but we back. And now we're back looking up forum posts. So, quality settings are identical. You touch them here. So to be good. Pixel count shadows. I have the same problem. The WebGL graphics look extremely horrible when running browser. I found the profiler helping fix with frame rate issues. I have the quality set up with fantastic, doesn't do anything. And frame rate is low. I say what the problem is a browser or OS to make a difference using WebGL 2.0. Just created a new one, rebuilt for WebGL, and it's all looking as expected. Well, it's up to you. If you come across this issue again, a minute. Best thing to do is delete the library and temp folders and reopen Unity. All the tricks. It just crashed. And we have nothing. But we do have a lead that I'm writing down, which is check quality page. Writing that in our little Obsidian notes for the things we need to do. Yes, so go away. 5 minutes. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. We're getting 10-minute minimum build, guys. Okay, we're making progress. In the meantime, we're looking up forum posts for hopefully helping us with our listed issues, specifically the lighting. The sound effects might be fixed. I have a feeling they could be, because now I'm not just using the Unity looping audio system. Well, I am, but I'm running it through Feel, which, might be a bit better. But let's see what else we can fix. Shadow inconsistencies. We have a post from Unity 2021, flagged as a bug. Windows is shown as well with WebGL. In my case, it turned out, it finished in faster than 10 minutes. Hang on, how long did it take? 391 seconds. Thank the Lord for it using its previous build information. So let's see. Okay. So the lighting's not as flashy bad. It's still kind of suffering a bit. But this is tolerable by turning down the intensity. No, it's not. It's making a whole lot of other fringes on the screen flash. Both of these are still unfixed. Okay, let's check quality settings next. Go away. Windows rendering quality setting. That's actually preference quality settings. Preferences, right? Preferences open up in such a tiny little window, so far away. Don't be scared, little preferences. You can come here. And it wasn't even preferences I needed. Go away, you're useless. Project settings, my man. Quality. So for WebGL, we have mobile low. Okay, let's turn that up. Can we turn that up? I'd like to turn that up, please. Because we have PC high as the green and mobile low as the green. Let's get rid of that. How do I set it to default higher? Force on, force off. Limited sync 4 resolution. PC low mobile. How do I change the default? Change default quality level. Unity. Yeah. So higher quality is equals to lower frame rate. I'm so unbelievably okay with that. We have a name, D section. So we have the documentation. Is there a default? Default. So it's the default one. Where does it say default? In quality levels matrix. Where default should come up again, right? Max level reduction, default, and it shows improvement. Oh, how wacky. Okay, we've changed the default. That might change the colors. Does not fix the sound. How do I fix the sound? Well, right now sound's being looped in through our little MMF player here. Maybe if I duplicate this, but this one will slight delay. So that way there's just always two kind of playing. Number of repeats. Just repeat forever. Let's just say this one also repeats forever. Would that create the sense of looping better? Repeat forever. Forever, forever. Forever's a very long time, you know. Oh, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Ever thought of being less ass? Have you thought of taking less ass and or giving yourself less ass to consume? Gameplay student, thank you for your contribution to the world. Wonderful friend of the channel. Ugh. Truly, WebGL is the platform of ass. Because my God, don't do it. If you're thinking about building for WebGL, just don't. It's a trap. It's evil, evil trap. Initial cooldown. Okay, we're gonna try this because my issues are so annoying and it takes so long to build. Let's see what this sounds like. Click a button. Oh no, it just doesn't stop now. It just goes on forever. That's wonderful. It kind of did what I needed it to do, but I need it to stop. Always glad to see you get as mad as Unity as I get. You know what? It's a shared struggle. It's a shared struggle. I needed to take a step away for finals and shit, and now we're back. GUI luck. I will have GUI luck, okay? GUI luck on your projects too. So we started good. We kind of have something that can progress, but we need it to not have such a dramatic pause. So how long did it take to pause that? Because I can't trust native looping. I have to loop it myself. Let's turn off the loop too. Okay. So I play this. Oh, that's even worse. It actually won't stop. Because the MMF soundboard player thing, you don't let it stop. Oh, is it because I set it to loop and to play? Okay, let's turn off the looping part. Okay, I do want you to play forever, but I don't want you to loop. No, I do want you to loop. Okay, let's just try the machine to just event stop the play. Instead of just forcing the audio source to stop. Force the player to stop. Make the player stapping go home. Stop feedbacks there. We'll come back to audio source if we really need to. Click. Definitely, this keeps going forever. We'll turn off internal play, laser audio. We'll turn off the looping down here. And then play. Oh, I should put. Okay, it's actually kind of worse. What I do need is probably stop feedback when feedback is stopped. There's a more eloquent way to put that, but there is a setting for stopping this. Yeah, stop sound on feedback stop. Let's try that. Okay, that does what I needed to do. I need probably only one of you, but I need the repeat infinitely higher. Delay between repeats. This is 0, no delay. Let's do it again immediately. This actually sounds perfectly like what the WebGL is suffering from now. Like this exact issue where it's playing it, there's a stop, and then we play it again. Yeah, 'cause there's just a notable stop between, which is annoying. This is getting annoying, but let's just look up this audio question. So WebGL audio not looping cleanly. Audio not looping correctly. I have a couple audio files for background music, but once uploaded as WebGL built, they only play halfway before they start over again. I've tried Wave and OGG and different ones, but they also run into the same issues. They play fine. If not, they're selected to loop, and the build is uploaded. Both Firefox and Chrome suffer from this. What version? Don't know if it's bugged by design. Currently a bug. Doesn't work. This will work. Oh, won't work around. We have a WAV file downloaded via an asset bundle, and the suggestion here is set overrate sample to 4.11. It still doesn't loop correctly. I'm gonna change the overrate. Or maybe we'd have to edit that in the audio program. Maybe. FYI, the workaround doesn't work 100% of the time. It loops in the correct place, but there's a small audible tick when it does. When the editor does it, it's seamless. You can hear this in New Game Skip tutorial. It helps to lower the SFX volume in the pause menu to hear the tick better. Anyway, it's not a huge deal, but I remember working seamlessly in earlier versions. This is exactly what I'm suffering from. Any upcoming fix to the one-shots? I have you built on Windows? Yes, it's built on Windows. I don't know about WebGL audio pipeline in general on Windows, but if you use mono files, you should ever only build on Mac. I don't care about the rest of that. Greatly reducing quality, bonus point to feed cache, and to be a little more on the topic. Oh, to be a little bit more on topic. I'm pretty sure the same bug has existed, but with 48 kilohertz, not 44 kilohertz audio files, setting the time from script doesn't function correctly in WebGL. It'll always be slightly off. So the same issue, they're not in mono. This is old for people. This issue is here. It's fixed in 5.5. That's great. When I was issued to upgrade, it's still an issue for me. Oh god, this is like Unity 2017. Hang on. Massive fast forward. Okay, where are we at now? Hello, no updates about this. The CLC is an issue. Audio looping different. Here's its status. Nice, sir. My fix has been approved this week. Backbone for that. There's some latency we've added to the mix because of migration. You're my hero, thanks. He says it was fixed, but it has not been fixed. I am experiencing it live. It's still not fixed. This is not fixed. I'm having it right now. Oh, it's so annoying. It's just because of WebPlat. It's just because it's WebGL. The audio loop delay 1 year ago. I've tried everything from compressed to streaming, overriding the sample rate, using the JIS format, converting it to OGG. Any help? No help provided. It just sounds different, which is not good. Not good. Not what I want. There's a better way to do this. There is a better way to do this. Toward the end of playing one, I should play another before that ends. And just really gamify it. Okay. Laser audio. Random sound. Sequential order. Wait a minute. Could I have this play just normally as soon as one ends? Automatic setup. Yeah, so don't repeat forever. No delay either. Just play immediately after. How does this sound? They play at the same time. How can I make these play sequentially? An MM sequence? Probably one of those. Oh, no. Sequential order. No, that's for it being randomized. No. Do not play if clip is already playing. Maybe. Yeah, I can hear the fucking stop in there. Stop it, stop it. I can hear the... Right now when I hit it. So like fires and the other one fires on a delay. Interrupts on the stop, which is good. Want to repeat forever. Okay, what am I trying to do? I should want it to play during the gaps especially. So that way, it can successfully avoid that weird little pause stop. This is simple. Well, it's a relatively trivial item that I'm not sure how to correct for build platforms. I'm not sure what part of this will work and what part of this won't work. Gapless looping audio, Unity 3D. Okay, there's a whole thread. You can't loop MP3 in Unity, convert to OGG or WAV. Oh wow, the thing it's referencing it doesn't even exist anymore. Awesome. Go for compressed audio, best for that. If you increase the compression, you will have far better results. Oh no, increase the kilobyte, less compression. You go to WAV for the best results. But native is better for short effects. So like this little beam, I just disable. What does streaming do? Yeah, let's simplify this. We're wrapping this shit back. I don't want these on MMF players anymore. Just make them audio players. If player play. Nope, that's the MMF player. I want the audio source play. Use the audio source stop. Doot 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 doot. There, Q phone for a random notif. And then stop. High priority. Interesting. I can make it echo a bit. What happens if I do? I am interested. Oh. Let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, I just had an epiphany. This is stupid. This is stupid, but it is the easiest possible way for me to get what I want done. This is what we call a silly decision. Why don't I just manually loop this audio? Just make the audio file longer. So that way I don't have to hear the same, because there's never a case where the laser is going to be firing long enough to hit the end. Part of me wants to test out the streaming work part. The other part of me does not want to have to sit through another build to find out. So, thank you, good old Audacity to the rescue. Is there any clipping here? There's a little bit of clipping, but it's honestly kind of nice. It's still what I expected on like native. Just to sanity check myself, because when hearing the same noise over and over again, that makes me a little bit loopy. Let me make sure that this is a real issue. You're firing up that local build. Hit me. Come on. Nope. Yeah, that's very bad for that da-na-na explicit like moment of silence, as opposed to much better. What's the safest length I can make this? Probably like 3 seconds, because there should never be a case where I'm having you wait 3 seconds for a laser effect to pop off. It'll be a little bit longer than 3 seconds. Exporting it back out to WAV, because screw it, why not? Sci-Fi Beam this. I'll put it under downloads. Sure, downloads. Sci-Fi Beam 2 extended. Or I'll just call it the extended Sci-Fi Beam so I can tell what it is at a glance, because that's nice. Higher sample rate. Just make this the absolute fattest file of audio possible. Come on. Come over here. Downloads. Why is this in my downloads folder? I mean, it's not bad it's there. I'm just surprised that it's there. And you will never learn what that item is. This is why I open up my downloads folder off the main screen. It's not even bad. It sounds worse than... I'm making it sound way worse than it is. And I'm not going to correct that perception either. Alright, new audio file. Come on. Hit me with something good here. Okay, so now that I know that the audio file is going to be totally fine, we have to correct for this lighting. This lighting is insanely harsh. Oh, wait, no, it was probably because of the mobile. Low build. Alright, let's try a new build. No, wait, no, not run. I didn't want to hit build and run. It's fine, whatever. It knows where to build. It's using the artifact from the previous one. Now we're back to the waiting game. This does not need to be saved. No. Let's trim some of this stuff down. But we might have successfully hit both of these. We'll have to see. For the main menu... Oh, I've thought of the perfect thing to do while waiting. This is actually genius. How have I not thought about it until literally just now? Let's browse the Unity Asset Store for some graphical assets I want for a UI for this game, because I need a good landing page. Okay, there we go, I'm signed in. How I signed in? This is correct, right? Okay, yeah, this is the correct account. So, I'm going to browse my assets, and we're going to pull up some fun UI examples. I'm going to type in UI. Let's find some good spacey sci-fi UI, because really it only needs the button to advance and the interim loading button. UI shaders. We could have shaders on our UI. Okay, let's view in full details. Oh. I didn't click the thing I said I was going to click. There we go. There's shader UI. So, come on, come here. There we go. Show the wonderful people at home. Ooh, the GUI bundle. Ooh, I was about to click the wrong thing there. I never clicked that open in editor bit. I never want to do that. I'm not sure why that's a thing. This takes too long. UI shaders. Show me. This content is blocked by a third party. It doesn't allow targeted cookies. Is it one of my extensions? But okay. Like having something like this on an icon would be kind of cute. GUI bundle. You got any good kit visuals? This is for the casual. This is for RPG fantasy. I'm not feeling the big mobile game energy on this. Or maybe I should be feeling the mobile game energy. Make it feel like it's hitting those dopamine reward centers of the brain proper. Look at survival game clean. Can I zoom in? What? Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that, it finished. That's the one thing I appreciate about WebGL is that it just rips my monitor, my browser, and says, hey, I'm done. What? Why is it stuck at 100? Hello? No, this is Vivaldi's issue. Yeah, this is a Vivaldi issue. For some reason, it's not... The browser itself has become unresponsive. I thought it was the game, but no, it's the browser. Which is not good, Vivaldi. What the hell's happening? The second time it's happened today. Thankfully, it's exponentially easier to rerun than to build in the first place. You're fine, Vivaldi. You're fine. Wait. Is the game itself stalling the browser? Because when I loaded up the game again, it just full stalled. Were the graphics settings too high? High graphics might be lethal. Okay, let's copy this URL, but we're not opening it in Vivaldi anymore. New browser time. One moment. Oh, one momento. Okay, Edge experiment times. Just to make sure I wasn't gonna dox myself thanks to Microsoft for some reason. Which one of these? Help, I can't find my source. I'm lost. Wait, no, I had it. Okay, I'm back. Hello. So, high graphics settings. Come on, load up. Damn. High graphics settings actually renders it. Okay, we can't use high graphics settings. It's too much. It actually kills the browser. So now we know. Could we set like mobile high? That should be good enough, right? What the hell? Actually, can I get a preview of what it's gonna look like? Oh, if I set it to mobile low. Nope, still it's fine under mobile low. Mobile low looks better than mobile high. What the fuck is all this like weird artifacting on it? Yeah, mobile high looks gross. What the hell? Something about the shadows? Real-time GI CPU sync. There's the mip maps. We can also set that to half. Once determining these gross, like shadows. Yeah, mobile high, please. Okay, this is it. The screen space ambient occlusion. So mobile high, low has these. Low has no render features except for stencil. Mobile low, screen renderer. Let's try stencil. Nope, not available. Yeah, no attempt at ambient occlusion, please. That turned out quite disgusting. New build. Alright, back to asset browsing. Next time I'll be careful not to open it up in Vivaldi, I guess. Or not click on it just in case it detonates my browser. Now show me those big images. Yeah, look at that. We've got some good UIs here. Yeah. I just want something that's kind of hits the simple dopamine. Should be whimsical, but a little bit scientific. Survival clean. Let's see what we got here. Like, that's a very whimsical opening page. Like, that's casual. Like, the survival opening landing page is kind of fine. You just have they're like a little button there. It says like click to continue. It, like fades into some, I don't know, like AI generated image of like factories and stuff. Then it unfades from there. Like it looks like you're getting put on a little ship and then you fade out from it. That would be cute. The stone. I also have to think about, or at least consider, the download size, because I feel like this asset's probably pretty big since it's so many different kits. What else I got? Under UI? There we go. I have to reload everything yet again. UI. Complete Sci-Fi UI. I've used portions of this kit before. I love this graphical kit. I think some of its portions are on the borders, literally, of this stream right now. Like, I think it's some of this bordering. I think I literally ripped that and have used it and modified it in other contexts. So I like this. It'd just be like a button. Because it's like a vibe. I kind of like the vibes it gives. It's like what this screen. It's like a you could have a fake login bit where it's like, oh, enter factory credentials. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm not making the same mistake again. My own game. We're opening you in a different browser. Next. Reloaded. Okay. Just a little bit of stuttering. So, moment of truth for a couple things. Where'd my mouse go? Let's see. I'm sorry, Windows? Could you not give me random news in my browser? Okay. I didn't really look or consume, but I think audio-wise. Okay, the audio is good. Is my mouse warping to the bottom? It is. My mouse just teleported. Oh, I see why my mouse teleported. Okay. So I have a 2-PC stream setup, and the second PC has its own mouse. That mouse fell, was on the floor, and I was slowly nudging and kicking it. And that would reset my mouse to go to my second PC, which is why I kept teleporting away. But we did it! But none of that underestimate the fact that we have done it. So, for virtual posterity, which is the big reason why I love doing these live. If you ever have issues with audio clipping or like weird graphical fidelity issues in WebGL, first, for fidelity issues, look under your quality settings. You're probably set to PC low, and that's so low it can cause weird artifacts, especially if you're doing like nuanced or intricate lighting. So I can set all those lighting effects back to what they were before. It was just that I was on such a low setting that it was bad. For audio, ideally you want to have things on like a higher compression rate or just last longer. Like now, because the build times are lower. Like how long did that one take? 54 seconds? Only 2 minutes? That's very doable. So since that one only took 2 minutes, I'll actually start experimenting now while I look at other UIs. Let's get Audacity back up. I want to just take a higher clip rate snippet of that audio and see if that fixes the looping issue. We're just gonna have it at like a higher hertz. Why is the field folder out here? That entirely threw me off what I should be doing, which is audio. Yeah, I'm back with went to grab milk and bread. I hope your milk and bread goes well. I fixed both of the core issues, Skinner. For graphic fidelity, you just have to turn up the default graphic settings for WebGL. That was what was causing the weird flickering. For audio, I kind of cheated. I extended the audio clip to be longer so it would never actually have to rely on Unity looping. I just looped it myself for longer than the sample would ever actually play. What I want to test though is this. So if I take a version of it that is the buggy version, so it gets looped incorrectly, if I just increase its hertz, will that fix it? So extended sci-fi beams versus sci-fi beams 2. So let's export this out at a higher. I never show this again. I'm never wanting to export to cloud. Under downloads, WAV. So this is like 88,000 hertz. Massive overkill, but you know, this is for experimentation. Let me grab that. And should I just replace it? We'll put like a Discord on no commands. Yep, don't really have a Discord or too much else. I kind of just stream whenever. Not a whole lot actually set up. If you do want to catch me though, by all means, I should have something basic set up. I think. Botrix, are you still alive? Nightbot? Anyone there? Best place to ever catch me is my YouTube, little posts from there. I watch YouTube, so I'm usually in other people's chats pretty often. But let me give that a little post. Bam. Because I will always be updating stuff via YouTube. There you go. Twitter exists. I'll almost never see it, and I'll almost never use it, but I'm on the video platform, so by all means, leave a comment, leave a post. Always available, always down to have a little chat, slide into the DMs on Twitter, and I'll likely see it because it's like an actual notification. But yeah, otherwise it's just me vibing on projects. Thank you, thank you. I stole that phrase from Doki Bird, that thank you, just because it's such a nice way to add a fun variation on the word thank you. I was testing if audio clipping would still happen. Will it? Oh yeah, also I need to set my laser beams back to their prime peak condition. No more do we have to suffer from the budget cuts for our laser beams. We have added proper visual safety protection to all of our factory operators, so they can laser away without a care in the world. I think it was the beam glow. Yes, it was the beam glow. So intensity multiplier was 1, because we want that big, glowing vibe. There we go, where the whole machine lights up. Actually, slightly lighter will be better. Can I just like click and drag the vibes? Okay. I love the vibe drag. Like this, way too much exposure. I'm getting cozier. I wanted to kind of fill up where like it's obvious like the lasers are on and hazardous. So like 5 was kind of okay, or only fills up some portions of the screen. 0.75 is fine. We have not reinstated the lasers to their peak glory, but to a more optimal maximal output. Because yeah, it's kind of curving around the corners and everything. I like that. That's a good visual. Okay, we have adjusted the lasers. Have I adjusted the audio? No, I have not. SFX. We're using the extended beam, which is the 88 hertz beam. High priority, all the spatial blends, distance, all that. Okay. Just a sanity check. I love the way that button kind of bounces forward. Alright, perfect. Now let's queue up a build. Oh, YouTube is behind Twitch by like 10 plus seconds? Oh. That's good to know. Hopefully we'll be able to like double speed it and maybe catch it up, but I didn't know the YouTube delay was that strong. Wacky. Might be Restream too, because I'm using Restream, so we're dusting off all the collections. We'll get better as we go. I forgot what I was doing. Yep, it's build. We're building. Yeah, it's a Restream issue, not you. Yeah, I like using it. It was just like convenient to do again after not streaming for so long, but I can also just dual stream the RTPM streams from my second streaming computer. I said stream a lot. I can probably do that, and that might help reduce the latency, or maybe some other configurations. Build and run, yes please. In the exact same place. Matter of fact, I don't even need to do it. Unity, do the hard work for me. But yeah, save that scene. Okay, while that loads, more UI shopping for the main menu and loading screen between main menu. So this part, funnily enough, is probably going to be the hardest. Have I ever modded a game? I actually got started with game modding way back when. I technically started with Unity, but I've modded XCOM 2, Persona 5 Royale, That one was the hardest because I actually had to use assembly in order to mod that game. Because there was no really big structured modding framework yet, so I had to do a little bit of signature signaling where I had to hunt down the exact signature of assets I wanted to replace. Kooky stuff. Vivaldi, are you okay? The browser froze again. Vivaldi has never had this many issues in all my time using it. I don't know what's wrong with it. It might be because it's a default browser and we're trying to do a WebGL build. That could be freaking it out, but that's weird. But the answer is yes. I think if you look through my stuff, I have my game banana linked. So you definitely know about what you're on about. Yeah. I've I've been around the block a little bit, just a little bit, mostly for fun, but I wanna seriously start driving around now that I've got the space. That school's out for a bit. We're just doing summer jobs. Let's kill and restart Vivaldi for the third time this stream. Mildly concerning. But yeah, I do enjoy game modding, especially for a game that I really like. It's fun just to kind of dive into the architecture. I really wanted to start doing it so I would get an idea for how like a big budget game like XCOM 2 factored and filtered some things. And you can probably see I have an old Nexus mods page and Game Banana page for some of the stuff I did. I think I looked into Power World modding, and that was the last bit of modding I did when that game came out. Since then, it's just been grindy stuff. I like this kit's UI, because of course I'm using it in the stream right now, and I can cut it up in a lot of different ways. It creates a nice setting. The hard part's going to be the visuals for this loading screen. Share some ideas. Sure. Honestly, you don't even need to, I have a million, like, commission service to share information. Just shoot me a message and I'll tell you what I know. If we want further consultation stuff, slide into my DMs anytime you want. They are open on the Twitters or the Discords. Okay, you're not tricking me. Go into a different browser. There we go. So, next. Okay, now red. Okay, so we didn't fix the audio clipping. Well, we did. And the answer is just don't rely on automatic looping audio, because that's gross, but the visuals are consistent. Alright, go away. We've already fixed these issues. I am beyond it now. Extra snooty. Where's the laser audio? There he is. There we go. Extended. Bam. Done. Perfect. I do have a smaller audio bit that's looping some Expedition 33 music in the background, because I like having it just very faintly going on, and it came to the Renoir boss fight music, and that's why I started bobbing. It's hard not to bob along. But don't, or at least I'm not streaming that music, because spoilers, some people might still be playing that game, but I really enjoyed my time. Web games like these, memory hacking ones. Mainly I'm working with .NET and C# based games. Me too. I've been around the block, but I just enjoy .NET/C# stuff. Oh, Venji.io. This is cute. And pretty robust. I've started playing web games on stream now. Okay. I will escape. But that's a really impressive Skinner. Honestly, shoot your shot, stream your stuff, because you've done a healthy amount. The hard part I always find is that kind of exposure element for stuff that you've done and posting that, but that's why just little by little I'm bothering to stream my process, get some visibility in on that. Why am I in just vanilla Twitch? There's my dashboard. Hooray. Oh, and thank you for the follow too, Skinner. My soul left my body for a moment. I just forgot everything that I was doing. Okay. For stuff I actually am doing, we replaced the audio. We want a real graphics kit. We'll continue making one more build while that happens. So I don't even need to, like, run this build because I'm so confident in it. We're just going to build it. There we go. So more UI assets, please and thank you. Wait, where did I put the UI? Assets window. There it is. That's a GUI bundle. That's GUI Pro for a simple casual. Oh my lord, that is a big pack. And that's the complete sci-fi GUI. I have more UIs than this. Is it just because I put in UI and not like GUI? Oh, Shift. I've used this before. Oh, a long time ago. Oh, that's a more focused one. Okay, let's look at Shift. It's been a bit. The only time I used Shift was for a game jam where I was trying to close out the UI, but ugh. There were some production issues on it, okay? Honestly, this kind of like fading generic sci-fi bit. I dig it. I dig it. The only thing I would change, of course, I don't need 90% of this, so it does feel a little bit like overkill. The only thing I'd, of course, want to change is the loading interim screen could be something like this. The, like, shift little particle flow bit. I'd want it to eventually be like a little ship that's, like, taking off because it's cute. Represents, like, you know, you're in a little factory ship. Might go with shift for this one, just as a nice change of pace. It's got like the giant, you know, quick match or start button. Maybe. Maybe. Extremely strong morals. I suppose that online for gameplay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, me too. You don't want to mod things that are affecting other people's experiences. Single player games, by all means. Online, that's just cheating at that point. The unfortunate thing is how much of development you do is not the kind of things you want people to fiddle with and make it exploit, so you can make detailed reports and provide patches for said exploits that can be found by others in the public. A little bit of white hat work as well. Very impressive. Yeah, you don't want to mod to disrupt other people's playthrough. The only time you would even have mods in any form of online game is if it's like a server or something like Helldivers can support, or if it's more locally hosted, where you can alter the gameplay experience in a way everyone consents to. But if someone didn't consent to your modding, you shouldn't mod them. It's all about that. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this off screen. We've got GUI Pro, which we have, but again, a little mobile-y and a little bit much. I think I'm just gonna go with the tried and true. Not even shift, but I'm gonna go with that ultimate sci-fi one. Even though this is really cute, I kind of like this UI. It's growing on me. It's growing on me like a very warm growth wart in my heart. Is my head constantly tilted a little bit? No, I actually am tilting my head when I have to look past my mic to the screen. How big is this? Do I have to get all of these, or can I just... Oh, there's a web demo. Oh, hello there, WebGL, yet again. I can change mode. Ooh. Okay, so it just has like a light and dark version. These like ads and little signs, little tutorials. This one's really winning me over. It's between this GUI Pro Simple Casual bit. It's not that big either, to be honest. It was shockingly expensive, but it's not too big, and I already have it. Versus, what was the other one? It was the sci-fi one that I've cannibalized before. The complete sci-fi UI. I should have put in GUI instead of UI in my search bar, but it's between these two. What? Oh, it stacked them. Oh, how interesting. I think this one's more on brand. I think I'm gonna go with the complete sci-fi GUI UI. Okay. I have made my decision. We're hammering down the gavel. Donk donk. So it is the complete sci-fi. If I can spell. There we go. Yep, plus PSD sources. How do I not already have it downloaded? Because I have it downloaded on my non-stream account. Oh, the stream account could be downloading these assets again. That would be a problem. Oh, I was wiggling a little bit there. Main menu. Okay. Let's get this started. So for this, SFGUI. Why is the hierarchy missing? Oh, because now I've dual loaded these. Hello? Why is everything so zoomed in? There we go. So for the canvas, show me what you got. Loading screen, neat. Not needed. You have the broad thing there. What kind of background art do I want on this? It could just be the machine itself, but you're going to be looking in the machine, so it seems kind of redundant. There's settings. In-game, whole bunch of stuff. I think we're just going to steal the login screen and the like start button. So there's the panel, just give me the login button for I could have the login part be aesthetic, where it's just like the stars. It looks like you've already entered your little credentials. Yeah, start game button, copy these feedbacks, move it over here. Anything else from this I want? I kind of like the border. Like I'm just like taking this apart, basically stealing it. Yeah, I like these corner bits. So we're taking these off, putting them on my ride. Let's unload the scene for a bit. Move them up. Let's put a mini version down there so we can see what we're doing. Nice. And anchor yourself. Oh, I don't have my little convenience thing. I want these to scale to this proportion at all times, whenever anything happens. So I guess it's just eyeball where this one should go. About here is good. Little corner. Just right in the corner. Sitting in the corner. In the chair. The UI chair. So I can move these up. And the easiest flip in the world. Yep. I'd like an actual like image there. And a title. How did I forget a title? Come back here for a second. I guess it's called CNC Factory. It's just the perfect placeholder title for all this. Alright, unload again. So right now we're just like lifting every component. Speaking of CNC, oh, little videos of the types of tools you create. Interesting. Oh, you're an assembly worker. Like assembly line, we're actually dealing with like factory line production. Ah, the classic UGUI tools. Okay, I see. Like with the repo. Yeah, tell me about it. What kind of assembly work do you do? Well, I renamed this to CNC Factory. Yeah, you build diagrams all day and use CNC to make the parts you need. No prob, dude. That's really cool. It'd be fun to do. I've always wanted a 3D printer so I could actually do some manufacturing of my own for custom parts, but, you know, overhead in time. Okay, does this work? Let me find a picture. I want a good picture just to kind of shove in. Right on in there. Do I just have a picture on hand? Let's find out. pictures? No. Well, maybe. Maybe. I think I should have some assets that would work. Because I've edited thumbnails with assets like that. If I look up Space Clouds, welcome back. But yeah, I was saying that's a cool thing for handling 3D production in CNC machines. I wish I had a 3D printer so I could do that, but it'd be a fun hobby. I'm forgetting how to spell the word Space Clouds. There we go. If I open this up, don't have permission. Okay, is this it? Yes, this is the picture I want. Wait a minute, it says it's in my downloads folder. Oh, it's in my other downloads folder. Okay. That is fair. What the hell is in this downloads folder? This one's the Wild of Wests. Okay. Move this somewhere proper. Bam. Throw in a nice little UI texture. Logo. Throw in UI image. Because it's not set to be a sprite. Sprite. Apply. Really? Really? Why is it not accepting me? It's rejecting my call. Oh, because the 2D sprite package isn't even installed. Gotcha. Wait, no, how are these working then? I call bullshit. Oh, because I made it a sprite and not an image. It should be an image, which is okay with it being a default texture. I'm so used to working with sprites, I forget. Oh, for Furno. They make rescue gear for fire departments. That's actually beautiful civics work, too. Your work does a good to society, an immeasurable good. Which is something that's hard to get with certain kind of technical jobs. Honestly, thank you for your work, okay? Keeping the good old firefighters safe and resistant to the fires they fight. Image is what I want. Image is what I want. Image is not what I want. What is happening? I'm just having the world's biggest brain fart. Yeah, so this is a sprite, 2D UI. Wait. I think it's aligned in my brain what I'm doing again. I think I've unlocked my inner mind's eye. Let's apply. Actually, no, it's not working to turn that into a sprite. Interesting. Why not? Because it should add a little like attachment in order to turn it into a sprite. It just won't let me turn this image into anything. Yeah, because this is a big old PSD. This is just a background image PNG. I set to a sprite. Yep, it's just a sprite 2D. Paste. Apply. Well, let me drag in. Okay, let's load the other scene for reference. I do like the kind of hexagon fade effect on this. Which I will be taking. There's the hexagons. There. And the background up there, and then we unload. If I could have a CNC machine, what would I even make? I'd have to think about that a little more clearly for what I'd want to orient that kind of production around. I've always had the dream, though, of like building my own little PCBs, like custom electronics. But otherwise, it would just kind of depend on what thing I felt like tinkering at a given time, you know? Okay, this is just rude. Why is this sprite texture special? If I go ahead and duplicate this and move it over, what's the difference between these two? Oh, why is this tag just multiple by default? That would do it. That would do it. So let's shrink this down. Give it a cool little hexagon-y vibe. And move it. Oh, wow. The best viewers. Good thing I don't need them. But yeah. Goofy. But we solved it. I don't know why I set it to multiple by default, but we have cured it. I wish this was a GIF that was moving. That would be more fun. For now, though, how does it look? How does it feel? You get rid of the giant white screen in the middle. Close tutorials. Oh, wait, okay. Couple issues I now see. First issue, this is not scaling. Also, I should have done all this UI on like a 1920 by 1080 expectant resolution. Yep. So let me grab these two. Why won't it let me grab both? Fine. Whatever that value of top is, let's put this one about the same. Now having this be mathematically done is going to trigger the ever-living hell out of me later for any like slight imperfections or deviations. Okay, big blue outline there. Get the little neon blue edges done there. I don't even need you. Background. Time to get big. Time to get chunky. I kind of like it when the title's a bit tinier like that. And we have the pixel effect kind of spread out more. It's kind of nice. You know, unintentional advantage like in that regard. Anchor this. But only anchor it to its visual proportions. I used to have a hotkey set up for this. Well, I still do, I just didn't bring it into this project, but it allows it to only scale to the corners that are drawn out, so it will never change, like, the proportion of the screen it takes out. I find it to be a pretty robust way for scaling UI in Unity. Oh, it's sharing the exact same anchor points. It's a little embarrassing. Yep, so upper left, there we go. Upper right, and expand. You're just a little bit off. How about you? My wonderful left little corner. Oh, your seat needs to be adjusted. There we go. The button just mildly expanded. Bam. Oh my god, the login button's so tiny! I didn't actually acknowledge how freakishly tiny it is at this point. The text also needs to be expanded. I wish the text would have auto-expanded, but, you know, can't win them all. Is that a Legend of Zelda song playing right now? That is. Do, 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 do. By the way, huge shout out to Game Chops. That's the thing that's playing audio in the background. Their game music live stream. Free for rights and very, very good mashups and combinations. I love them for work and productivity. And streaming is a form of both of those things. Is this centered? Why does that not feel centered? It's because the corners are slightly out of view. Are the hexagons not centered? They aren't centered, which throws the whole vibe off. It's closer to centered. I just want to expand them on both sides equally. Okay, good enough. I want to bring it down just a little bit. Okay. So now let's see. What's the vibe here? I want that background moving. What? Did nothing happen? Excusez-moi. Oh, because I attached all those feedbacks to this button. This should be on here, right? Yep. Next demo is text. None of that is needed. Log in. There we go. Okay, that's a good workflow. Now I just need to change the scene. That's the actual in-between loading effect. So how does the scene come down again? Also, let's change that text. I'm logging to start. Enter the factory. Also change up that text a little bit instead of just screaming caps lock. Into something a bit more flavorful. There's a nice like fancy sci-fi type font I have. I just don't have it in this project. But again, we'll like change up later. Lato heavy? I'll keep Lato heavy. Where's the C and the C? Give me the title. A little bit of Lato can go a long way. Lato, please. Oh, I've been working for 2 hours. Not what I expected, but not unwelcome. Oh, the text is dramatically capped because we're not using TMP Pro really, but it's fine for now. So it's like 45? Isn't that good to see? That's better to see. So I believe the image just comes down, right? Yes, it does. So which scene am I loading? I'm loading the additive loading on screen symbol. You duplicate. So I want this scene to be more flavorful, according to my definition of flavor. Call this just loading screen. And we're going to go into the loading screen from now on. So we don't need this anymore, but we do want this. So what's happening in this screen? Alright, let's just load this in its entirety. Is this like a gradient of some sort? Nope, it's just bright friggin' orange. I think a good bit of sci-fi GUI would be the Cinti one for this. The Cinti Sci-Fi UI HUD. So I have this on Cinti's website itself, just not on Unity. But I have like variants to both. I think these assets would go best here. Like having a giant, just like drop down screen. Nope, not what I want. Still not what I want. Hang on, let me pull this up. There we go. So I think this assets would go really well. So if I have like a giant door drop down, it like uses this UI. It's just like a drops down as it loads stuff and then pulls itself back up. I feel like that worked nicely. We have a whole bunch of other pieces. I generally really like this UI kit. A lot of really good pieces. Not really a whole lot of good buttons, but buttons aren't hard to come by. Good buttons. but having like a screen like this come down while it's loading and come back up, I feel like it's still very hexagonally on brand. Pulling it in just for the hexagons though is it's a little bit kooky. Do I have just like a set of hexagon images? 3D hexagon ceramic tiles? Nope. That's an SVG. Nope. Sure, let's try Edge for SVGs. My eyes are burning after that flashbang. Hexagon, PNG. That's just a singular hexagon. Not what I'm looking for. Like a sheet of hexagons. Oh, why don't I just change the color on this? I'll just change the color. We're going simplest option possible. Because I'm very done at this point. Okay, we have the fader, base color, just like this. Our little loading bar down there. Oh. That visual representation. So I like this and it getting like deeper as we go. More like cosmic and spacey. Yeah, let's transition into the space image. Why not? Yeah, which means I have to turn this to white. And turn off the More Mountains logo, and we have our little progress text. Something more kind of digital and analog. That'd be another. Ooh, this is good. That square is bold free. Let's go to the main menu. Can I change this text into squares bold free? Squares bold free. There we go. Has to be tinier though. Uh-oh, we got a leak. There's no such thing as a load. Oh, it's not in my build settings. That would make sense. Open scenes. Where do I put my scenes? In the scene list, of course. Now let me remove that. Add this one, and then build profile, scene list, add open scenes. Boom. There we go. So now let's try this. Okay, it was just a solid image. It didn't fade or anything though. A little disappointing. Yeah, so loading screen. Let's try this again. Yeah, so it's loading. It's the additive. It says progress. Here we have the fader. And then fader, so it like falls in between this. Visual items. Oh, because I turned it off. But I can have a loading animation as well, which is kind of funny. Loading the complete animation. Loading text. Loading progress bar. Yeah, a lot of cool accessories. So let's try the workflow again. Main menu. Load it up. Oh. Okay, I see how that works now. Let me observe it again. Yeah, it's happening so quickly, I don't even see the little animation. The animation isn't the point, it should just be the visual. The big, broad visual, but this is what should be the final. So, like, this should be kind of vague blue. It slowly fades away into what I need it to be. Honestly, it'd be nice if it was like kind of a gradient image, but it's fine. It's fine for now. Copy this. I want to copy this whole component. Paste component. Copy component. Paste this one as values. And then paste this one as values after both copying and removing it because we don't need it here. No more canvas renderer for you. Values, there we go. So we also don't need the animation anymore. Let's see how this goes. What? The loading screen didn't go from blue to that, it went from this to this. So hello, I need some help here. Yes, yeah, so the fader. If we turn off the bar, it should just be the fader. I guess I did something wrong when I altered the fader. Huh. Yes, the progress bar should reign supreme. I guess if I move the opacity for it first, maybe? Let's find out. Nope. Weird. But I'd say this is overall pretty accomplished. The last of this is just like aesthetic choices of style. Let's do one final build, and then we'll probably call it for today. There we go. Yep, so back to main menu. We have our premise of a main picture. Enter the factory, reload, we enter the factory, we start placing ship in the factory, and then send them off. We have it all together. So let's save, build, and run, and let that run through. But thank you all so much for watching, for swinging by, leaving a comment, or just lurking while working. This was a nice polish on this game, and hopefully with the YouTube VOD and link in the description, you'll be able to play it on my itch.io page for as much gameplay as there is. It's not really expected to be a kind of full-fledged game, but it was a nice assembling of unique things to get me back in the swing of development. There are more ideas I have for this project, but I want to kind of leave it as it is so I can move on to other ideas I want to test bed. Because after playing a bunch of things like Expedition 33 and other RPGs, I want to sink my teeth into some more narrative and skip-based stuff. But if you like what you see, come by my YouTube channel, Power Corvius or PowerCore 2000, and leave a little subscribble. Sometimes I'll try to stream, no guarantee on the stream schedule, but I appreciate anyone who wants to drop by and say hi. I'm trying to stall for time to see how long I can make an intro or an outro before the build finishes, but that build could take a while. So, yeah. Ultimately, this is a pretty fun project. You could also catch my older streams where I initially built this project to be a more robust, like, kind of server tool, and I still plan to make it be a tool. I say server tool. It was an attachment to a WebSocket server for when I V2, I can have something interesting going on while I tinker with things. That's definitely still the plan. I'm gonna have a version of this where it's just in the corner, vibing, doing some builds and other miscellaneous operations while I stream to you about myself, where I am, and whatever tooling or work I'm doing. So it'll be neat to tinker with OBS again and figure out what it is I really need to do. It's gonna finish in under 3 minutes, it seems. Oh, before it gets fully uploaded later, there should be some tweaks to the final graphics, and I'll probably make a YouTube community post about, hey, it exists, go check it out, with a link there, and the link in this description to be updated. I want to keep making smaller projects, because this was an extra stream. It wasn't headache-inducing around the time I'm starting to feel kind of fatigued, where I don't really want to look at it anymore. I'm able to finally get it out away from me into the world for other people to enjoy. Expect more projects probably soon as we get a handle on work and other things. But yeah, let's end it off with entering the factory with my generic ass loading screen and increasing the performance of red. I'm going to decrease this volume for the express reason I'm going to show you one of the best features of this game that'll be playable to you now. I can't decrease its volume without decreasing the obvious volume. What a shame. Okay, just mute the tab. So, thank you for watching. I'll catch you all later. But until then, I've been Power Corvius. Bye-bye for now. That bread is still growing. It's never going to stop growing. I didn't put an upper limit on how big this bread could get. It's going to break the screen. This was funny, but it's now reaching the buttons. It's going to overtake the buttons. It is overtaking the button. It's become self-sufficient. It's hitting its own buttons for it to make itself bigger. Please, send help. No, no, not the bread. Not the bread.